And then on Saturdays, Mr. Bangora will, and I believe some of the other leaders or founders, they are going to start giving the overview at 4 o'clock. Okay, I think last week was the first Saturday. And so today we have an opportunity to what? Put people on that call so that they can see the business the same way we saw it, with the same excitement. And I'm just excited that we still have founders who are on these calls training us, who are on the calls doing the overview, right? Because eventually they're going to be too busy. It's going to be us. So we need to be on these calls to make sure we can duplicate what they teach us, what they do in their overviews, right? The voice tones, the parts of the overview where they give certain examples or real life stories. Okay, thank you. We need to be there so that, because it's one thing to have the PowerPoint and just read it, but it's another thing to have those, side stories and side examples that help us, be able to give a more powerful presentation. So that is why we need to be at everything. And that all falls under being extremely what? What's the C word? Somebody unmute. What's the C word?
Coachable.
Coachable.
Coachable. Very good. And we need to do this around everything we do. That means calling your upline, calling your downline, right? That means not just coming to everything, but applying the notes that you learn and then calling them back and saying, hey, I spoke to this gentleman at the store and I told them all the ingredients and they didn't want it. Well, guess what, Ms. Dickerson? You shouldn't have thrown up all the ingredients on them. They just want to know, that it works. They want to hear a story. So then you can go to someone else with those changes that, you learned or you can make after speaking to your upline. So, there's a lot around being coachable. Just imagine that you're on a team, right? An adult, I don't know, football, cheerleading team, right? And your coach tells you, all right, go out, do this, do that. And, you want to do it your way. Guess what? You may be great at whatever it is you do on your own, but 9 times out of 10, we haven't been great at this, right? Or we wouldn't be on this call probably, right? So we just do it before we understand it. And once we do it, I promise we'll understand it, right? The understanding comes after the action, right? Okay, so I'm not going to talk much longer because I'm super pumped and excited to hear what Mr. Brown has for us. And Mr. Brown, our amazing founder, again, is always there for all of us. So many of us, he's there anytime we need him, not just in the business, but on a personal level, right? We may be going through some things. We can, if you haven't figured that out already, you will figure it out that he's a great listener. He's a great problem solver. And so I would love to welcome my friend, my coach, my founder, Mr. Brown. Everybody unmute and give it up for Mr. Brown.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah.
Nuggetville, Nuggetville.
Let's go.
Mr. Brown.
All right. That I know it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Do that again. Hold on.
No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Miss Dixon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Y'all. I think it's okay. It's okay. Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, you know how I feel about you, sir.
Hey, it's all good, sir.
No,
we got a lot we got to cover, because people don't gotta get excited about me. That's all right.
Go in the chat.
No, look, I'm excited for y'all. Does that make sense? I'm excited for you all. Hold on, Miss Anderson.
Yes, sir.
I want to move forward with this because
sir.
I really want you guys to understand that it's not about me, it's about you guys. And me pushing
yes, sir.
seeing your success. And so I'm really not here for the claps and the cheers for me. I could care less about that. I get excited and I feel fulfilled when I see you guys growing, when I see you guys growing and hitting new ranks and becoming more successful, creating new leaders. That's when I feel the most fulfilled. Okay. And so that being said, I'm not going to lie to you. I am really excited. I am. And the reason being is because I'm about to get my dog, in about 3 hours. Okay. I'll be heading to the airport, getting my first puppy, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm a founder of a pet company. And for 4.5 years of us creating this company, I've never had a dog, but it never stopped me from working and building my business. That means no matter whether you have a dog or not, you can still build and grow your business. But that being said, I am excited to have a puppy coming home. It just texts me a picture saying that he's on his way. He's sitting in his little bag, just looking in the camera with his little puppy. I'm excited. Okay. So I want to jump into this information. All right. I want to share something with you all. But before I do that, before I jump to what it is I want to share, somebody was telling me about a person that they brought in, and I was kind of giving them a real talk moment as to whether or not I think the person is serious in the business, and I had to tell them, look, they don't get on the calls. They don't get on the trainings. They don't do anything, So more than likely, they're probably not going to become a real person in the business, And this business is all about planting seeds, okay? Planting seeds. I want you to imagine yourself as a farmer, and your job as a farmer is to what? Produce as much fruit as possible, okay? Now, the thing is, let's imagine that you're walking around with a bag of seeds, okay? And the bag has a hole in it. And as you're walking, different seeds are falling out the bag, okay? Some of them fall straight on the ground. Others fall on the side of the street, okay? And birds come down, pick it up, fly away. Others fall in the cracks of the concrete and grow really, really fast, right? But then wither away because there's no root, okay? And withers away and burns up in the sun. But then others you plant as a farmer, you start producing and growing fruit. Some grows 30, 100, 1,000 times what it is that you planted. Does that make sense? Okay. And so, as relates to the business, how do you become a great farmer? How does that even make any type of sense as to what is that you're doing here? Mr. Brown, I love fruit, I love veggies, but I don't understand. Okay. Well, here's the thing. The seeds that you're planting is the seeds of the opportunity. Does that make sense? And as you're walking in and as you're telling people, guess what? Some people that you tell with this opportunity will fall straight on the ground, meaning nothing ever happens. It's like a brick wall. You could tell them that, hey, I just met Bill Gates. Hey, I just met Jeff Bezos himself. He's going to put me on, make me a VP of Amazon, and I can put you on, And guess what? No matter what you say to this person, you can't move them. You can't touch them. That makes sense? No matter what you do, no matter what you say, guess what? They just don't understand opportunity. Now, that's okay. There's going to be people out there. It's just not their time. Okay. Some people, it'll never be their time. All right. But that's because they're not meant to be entrepreneurs. That's fine. Okay. Understand who they are and keepitmoving.com. Okay. Well, then there's other people that you're going to run into, right? And you're sharing an opportunity with. And when you tell them, it's like the seed that falls on the ground, okay, in the cracks of the concrete. It grows really, really fast, but then withers away. Who is that? That's the person that you told about the opportunity, and they got so excited, right? You told them, they started cheering, they started, jumping, they started leaping, they started going, oh man, I'm gonna be one of your top people. I'm gonna be, oh man, what should I do? I'm gonna be an ace of yours. Oh man, I'm so excited. Man, this is $1 million opportunity. Watch, I'm gonna make $1 million. Then the very next day, when you go to call them, when you go to text them, the next week, you're like, what happened to him? Where'd it go? They hit witness protection program. Does that make sense? It just disappeared out of nowhere for no reason. And you don't understand why. Well, the reason being is because, ladies and gentlemen, they are who they are, right? They're the person that didn't have any solid foundation, right? They don't know how to stick to something and really mean what it is that they say that they're going to do, right? Do what it is that they say that they're going to do. They just always talk, but they never apply with action, all right? You're going to run into those people. Yes, you're going to call them, like, what happened to them? But you see them posting on Facebook, see them posting on Instagram, but they're not replying to your text messages. Okay, no problem. Remember, You don't need them more than they need you. This is your business, your opportunity. You keep the ball rolling. Does that make sense? You keep moving.com. Well, then you're going to run into other people, right? Now, these are people that are seeds that fell on the ground and birds came up, swept it, grabbed it, and flew away, okay? These are people that you told, and yes, they have potential. They were excited about the opportunity. Everything made sense to them. The problem was they went to go tell their friend who is no good, right? Who never made any success in their life, or they told their family member, and maybe their family member have all good intentions, but they had a bad experience and they don't even understand what it is that they're talking about themselves, right? So what happened is they took the opportunities to someone who was less credible. And maybe they didn't understand the opportunity, maybe they didn't understand business. And unfortunately, guess what? That little birdie took the opportunity right out of their vision and said, what are you doing? Why are you getting involved with that stuff? Man, come on, you're not gonna make no money in that thing. Really, you better get involved with that. Come on. They're doing everything they can to talk you out. Now, I like to call this person, this bird, if you will, a dream stealer and a reality stealer. Does that make sense? You know, you can't share your dreams with everybody. You can't go into detail with everything you want to do. Understand the vibe, okay? Because the vibe that you work with will attract your tribe. Does that make sense? So if you hang around negative people, guess who you want to attract? Negative people, okay? If you look at someone and you see they don't produce fruit, look, I just made a post the other day. Actually, I took it from somebody else, but it went like really, really big. A lot of people really received it. It said, don't take shade, right, from trees that don't bear any fruit. Does that make sense? Stop taking shade from trees that don't bear any fruit. Meaning, if people are talking about you because of what you're doing, if people are trying to share their little insight or trying to neg out your opportunity, you look and you ask them, well, what do you have? What business have you grown? What millions have you created? What other people have you developed to become successful? Right? And they can't tell you, then take their words with this much grain of salt. Does that make sense? Come on now. How reputable are they? How much is their opinion really worth if they haven't produced any fruit? Right? You know, I remember in the Bible, I know everybody, I'm not trying to press my beliefs on you now, but it's good, right? I remember in the Bible, you know, Jesus had went to go pull a fruit from a tree, and the tree didn't have any fruit, right? And he says, you know what, wither away and die. Does that make sense? And he said they walked away. When it came back, the tree was gone. Why? Because it was unhealthy tree. It didn't produce fruit. It wasn't doing what it was designed to do. Remember what God's first commandment was what? Go and produce fruit. Does that make sense? Go out and produce, right? Come on, go and bear fruit. So it's not just talking about you bearing children. It's also about you what? Laying and tilling the land. You doing what it is that you need to do that's going to produce results and progress in your life. Does that make sense? Come on. All right. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So when the birds come through and they're just talking, they're just yapping, and they don't have fruit, why are you listening to the dream stealers and reality stealers? Why are you
Yes,
listening
sir.
at verses, you know, even if they weren't interested in what you're doing, they don't have to be negative. Why not be excited for you? Not be, you know, cheering you on. Great. You know, you're trying to become more successful. By all means, go keep on pushing. You know, I'm proud of you. No, instead, they want to do the exact opposite. Why? Because maybe something inside of them is feeling quite uncomfortable. The fact that you're taking the chance to put your life in a better position. And maybe I don't want you to outgrow me. Maybe I don't want you to leave my comfort zone. So versus cheering you on, I'm gonna neg you out. I'm gonna pull you down here with me. I'm gonna tell you, don't do that stuff. Why are you doing that stuff? Come on, just stay out here broke land. You see what I'm saying? Okay? Understand that, sure, these people may have good intentions sometimes if they're really close to you, like your mother or your father, and they just don't understand. But most of the time, it's dream stealers or reality stealers. Identify who they are, understand who they are, and make sure you teach this to your new team members. So when the bird comes, they understand to swap it away versus allowing them to take them over there to broke land with them. Does that make sense? Okay? All right. So that being said, yes, you have the seeds that got grabbed up from the birds, but then you have seeds that you've planted. Okay? You have seeds that you've planted in the ground, and guess what? It grew. and it actually produced fruit. Why? Because you watered it, right? You water it, meaning you're feeding them, you're inspiring them, you're talking to them, you're teaching them, you're making sure that they're growing properly. Meaning, when bugs come around, you're spraying the pesticides, right? You see what I'm saying? When they're making mistakes, you're educating them on, hey, don't make this type of, no, make sure you're doing this, make sure you're doing that. You're guiding them in the right direction. Sometimes the light comes down and the sun, and they're growing a certain direction, they can tip over and they can die. So you gotta help give them the support to help the plant stay up top. Come on, right? Sometimes you gotta help and dig a little bit deeper within the team and make sure that you're supporting them to make sure that they're staying stable in their business. Come on now. Yes, sometimes you plant the seeds and it produces 10, it produces 50, it produces 100-fold, meaning it produces more fruit than what it is that you planted in that seed. Now, here's the question. How do you know what seed is going to produce what fruit? You don't.
Yes, sir.
You don't. You can't tell. So the only way you can see it is if you what? Constantly plant the seeds. There's no way to look at a seed and go, oh, this seed right here is going to produce 1,000-fold. No, you can't. You have to produce and plant as many seeds as possible and be the best farmer that you can be. Does that make sense? Come on.
Yes,
I hope y'all
sir.
understand. All right. And so that being said, when becoming a farmer, there's something that you need to do to become a great farmer. All right. And it's taking ownership of your farm. Okay. Meaning you own your own farm. This is not Nevada's farm and you signed up to work Nevada's farm. No, you're working your own farm. You just so happen to have Nevada's seeds. Does that make sense? Come on, Al, let's go. All right. You got to learn how to take ownership of your business. This is your business. And if you really want to take ownership, then you have to learn how to score. Okay. So those of you that have been stagnant, maybe you haven't been growing the rate that you want to be growing, maybe you haven't gone to the next level, it's because you have yet to score 100%, right? Come on now. Someone told me you don't have a business until you sell a product, right? Some of you haven't even sold a product yet. Yes, you need to learn how to score and sell a product. You got to learn how to score and move forward. So the first one in score is sales, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, sales.
Yes,
you have to learn how to sell. All right. This is a business. How can you make money in your business? How can you, of course, now it's not all about money. I understand that. Come on now, we all understand that. But it's not about that, right? It's about what? Making sure your business has lifeblood. Okay, come on. How can a business survive if there's no economy happening? If there's no, money circulating through it, then you don't have a business. So you got to learn how to sell. So value is going through your organization, going through your business. Now, here's the thing. The first and foremost thing, if you really want to master sales, you have to make sure that you have a product pack, okay? At the very least, a travel kit. If you can't afford the product pack right now, that's fine. I understand. Everybody's financial situation is different, but at the very least, you need to get a travel kit. That way you can at least work your 10-5-2, okay? And more importantly, the more products you have on hand, the more you can learn, okay? You got to be educated about your products. You got to know and become knowledgeable about all the value and everything that your products offer. Become knowledgeable about all the stories and everything that you can share with the products. So how do you learn the stories? How do you become more educated? Well, first and foremost is by trying them yourself, seeing your own personal results. Whether you have a dog or maybe you have a neighbor, you're giving the products to your neighbor's dogs or your neighbor's pets, okay? Or your family members' pets. And you see how much they love the products that are sitting there begging for it, right there. They're wagging for it. They're doing tricks for it. Maybe you see over time how the skin and coat is starting to gleam and shine, and it's all thanks to your products. Yes, your product line, all right? But also tuning into the calls. When you hear other people sharing their testimonies, come on now, you get on a call every Tuesday on a corporate call, hearing from this Shantae John Tucson, and she goes over a few products and she's telling you a story on every single one of them. If you have not learned those stories yet, then you're not paying attention. If you can't share even those stories themselves right there, then you're not paying attention. So you want to get on the call so you can learn more stories. Whenever you hear a new distributor getting on teaching on the products, you need to be paying attention because there's a chance that you may learn a new story. I got so excited when Ms. Heather Fleener got on and she started sharing about the calming support. And how she has so many dogs, but a specific dog that she brought in, a foster dog, right? It had such bad anxiety. And thanks to the calming support, she noticed a difference. Now, it's not just after she tried the calming support, that was it. No, she tried multiple products and never seen a difference until the Novetica calming support. That right there is a story. You need to become educated. You need to tune into the calls. And that's the value of making sure you never miss anything. Now you got to get on the calls and become educated, right? And the more educated you become, the more stories you can share because facts tell and stories sell. The third thing you want to do is make sure you're on a schedule. Come on, you can't become successful without success habits. How you going to do that? I remember watching a story of a gentleman sharing. He's an influencer on Instagram. I love his stories, and he got on and he was saying he met up with a billionaire. Okay? He had a chance to meet with a billionaire, and it was out of just pure luck that he got a chance to meet him. Okay, well, he actually got invited over his house, and he was so packed. His schedule was so packed. He had to fit him 15 minutes in his schedule. Okay. And he didn't know where he was going to be until about 2 hours before. So he texted him the address. He was like, here, I'm going to be here. Just meet me here. Okay. In 2 hours. Boom. And you got 15 minutes. Well, in those 15 minutes, he started talking to him. And he realized after doing some research, this billionaire every day for 20 years, he ran 4 miles a day, never missed a day. Okay. And so he said, how did you do that? How did you stay so consistent, and so long and so disciplined? He said, listen, I never want you to use that word again. What word? Consistent? No, discipline. And the reason being is because I'm not disciplined. Nobody's perfect. Eventually, it's going to get to a point where you make mistakes, where you step out of your habits. But let me ask you something. Don't you brush your teeth every day? Yes. Okay. Would you dare walk around without brushing your teeth? No. Why? Because I just do it. I understand it's I need to make sure so nobody judge me. Exactly. It's part of your lifestyle. Your lifestyle. You have to make success habits your lifestyle. You have to make talking to people around everything you do your lifestyle. Following up with people, your lifestyle. Giving the products to your pets every day, your lifestyle. Taking and creating great content for your social media page, your lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you got to schedule success habits and make it part of your life. It's second nature. You have to do it. It's part of who you are from the inside out. You become a millionaire by becoming $1 million person first. So you have to learn how to create your schedule. Does it make sense? And make it part of your life, your lifestyle, okay? And of course, you have to learn how to become a consultant, become professional. Don't just try to sell the products, learn how to consult. Share and educate what the problem is and how your products are the solution to the problem. Don't be a used car salesman. What you need, I got this product, I got that product. Oh, you need the skin and coat. The skin and coat has this, that's that. And that's the greatest thing. Oh, the hip and joint, the paranacanalicus. Okay. And all you do is you're sounding like a scientist, a scientist / used car salesman where you're reading off the ingredients and the person on the other end doesn't know what you're talking about. Learn how to consult, okay? Or you're educating the end user. You're educating the pet parent, okay? Talk about the problem and how your products are the solution and sharing a story to what? Show the results of how amazing your products are, okay? So yes, you have to learn how to sell. If you haven't gotten a sale yet, today, make today your first day of getting a sale. Hands down, this has to be your first day. By all means, even if you got to reach out to someone and tell them, look, I got a goal set, okay? And you are going to help me with my goal. please, please, and thank you. I just need you to support me buying one product. That's it. You can buy one product anytime and tell that to as many people as you can. All your warm market. Look, go to your website. If you don't have a pet, just give it to somebody else. But I would really, truly appreciate your support. I got to go to hit today, and your support is really going to help me get there. Boom, and just do everything you can. Does that make sense? To get a sale, do whatever it takes to become successful, as long as it's legal and morally right. So yes, score. You have to learn how to sell, okay? A dream is merely a wish unless you write it down and start acting upon it. C, you have to learn how to create goals, okay? You have to learn how to create goals and write it down. If I asked you right now, okay, right now, and I want all 34 people on this call, and I said, what are your goals? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Okay, what's your vision? I promise you, by the third person, they'll just start picking off the other person. Oh yeah, what they said. I want this, I want that. Yeah, I want this, I want that. Why? Because they don't really have a set vision for themselves. They don't have a set goal for themselves. And the moment they hear somebody else, they want to pick up on their goal, on their dream, because they go, oh, that one sounds good. And they realize they weren't dreaming big enough. What's your goals? How many people do you want to help? How much money do you want to make? What rank will get you to that? Where do you want to travel? And where do you want to expand your business to? Right? You need to find and figure out all these things. And then make sure you put a date down. That's why September 2021, all vice presidents that hit it twice, I'm taking you on a trip to Punta Cana. I already know. It's going to be at least 3 people, at the very least. At the very least, full ride. I know how much it's going to cost me. I'm already putting it into the budget. How much I need to save up. Okay? I'm doing it all. Why? Because I know that's my goal, and I know we're going to work to achieve and make it there. And so you have to know what your goals are and get it all the way down to the T. So would I like more than 3 people? Yes, absolutely. I would like everybody on here to hit vice president and above, And so we could all go out there and have a grand old time, okay? Now that probably made me super broke, but we can do it. Does that make sense? Okay, come on now. All right. And so that being said, yes, I'm excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about where we're going. I'm excited about where we're expanding to. But what about your goals? Do you want to go to Punta Cana in September? Do you want to make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month? Do you want to help people make an extra $1,000 a month? You see? Do you want to make sure you're supporting and building residual income to help your kids or help your family out? Mr. Ray got on the call Friday. He talked about how his aunt inspired him, right? And she said, listen, I built this big old house from the ground up with all these rooms and all these, great, places. This room right here is next to the pool, next to the jacuzzi. Why? Not for myself, but to inspire other people, to help support my family when they're going through hard times. As long as they ask for help, boom, I'm here to help them. And she was able to do that because she put herself in a position to do so. That was one of her goals. And she made it happen. That was part of her vision. And she brought it to reality. What's your vision? Have you written it down? Do you think about it every day? Do you speak over your life and say what you're going to do? Every day. Do you use the power of the tongue? Do you bring from the spirit realm the thoughts, the mindset to reality by speaking it and writing it and working it? Speaking it, writing it, and working it. I love it, right? Well, guess what? You have to learn how to create your goals and make it in detail. I hate little phony cloud goals. I want to become successful. Well, what's successful? What's successful to you? I want to make money. Well, how much money do you want to make? Oh, I want to help people. Well, how many people do you want to help? How do you want to help them? Right? Get down to the detail. Know what it is that you want to do. C, create goals. Okay? O, operate, score, right? Boom, S, sell. C, create goals. O, operate. How are you operating your business? Are you following a duplicatable system? I remember talking to another gentleman. This is what he told me. He said, it takes a special person to, I'm sorry. This is what he said. He said, you can manage people or you can manage systems, but it takes a special person to know how to do both. Does that make sense? It takes a special person to know how to do both. You got to learn how to operate, how to not just work with people, but also how to work your system, your duplicatable system. And the thing is, you didn't have to create it. No, it's extremely simple, not easy, but extremely simple. And you need to learn how to work it. Learn how to give a proper pet assessment where you're educating the pet parent. Okay, learning how to do the business around everything you do. I know you're busy. I know you got to go to work. I know you got a family, right? I know all these things, but we all busy. So how do you still make the business work around everything that you do? How about talking to people when you're at the gas station? How about talking to people when you're at the grocery store? How about talking to people when you're on social media? How about talking to people when you go get your mail? You see people walking around with their dogs. How about when you're driving into your neighborhood, you see people with dogs, right? Doing a business around everything that you do. See, the truth and reality is most people, they're not too busy. They're too afraid to act. They're too caught up in fear of what the outcome may be. That's the reality. That's the truth. Sorry, I got to be real. I got to keep it real. You're just afraid to open your mouth and say something because of what they might think. So what? Who cares what they think? You ain't talked to them before. So are you going to talk to them afterwards if they're not interested? No. Keepmoving.com. Right? Learn how to give the presentation. Learn how to share the information. Some of you have been involved for months and still don't know how to give the presentation. Shame on you. Shame on you. By your second month, you should be sharing the opportunity already. You should already know how to give the presentation from beginning to end, the full presentation. Yes, you. And the way you do it is by practicing. The more you do it, the better you get. I promise you, practice, okay? And of course, plugging into the Zoom calls and making sure you get your own account, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Oh, darn it. Okay, I just got a text message saying the dog is some technical issues with the plane. So my dog's gonna be delayed. Got to be more careful. That's all good. That means I have less time to stress, more time to really get in detail with this with y'all. Does that make sense? Okay, plug into the Zoom calls and make sure that you get your own account. Yes, the account is free. Why don't you have a Zoom account yet? Well, of course, all y'all have one. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call. But you understand what I'm saying, okay? Yes, get a Zoom account, all right? Get on the GroupMe account. Follow the Facebook groups, okay? And make sure you're plugged into the system, all right? So S, sale. C, great goals, okay? O, operating systems. R, being responsible. Here's the big one. Being responsible. The price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill. Right? How many times have you blamed somebody else for your mistakes? How many times have you blamed somebody else for not getting results on what you want? It's not my fault. It's not your upline's fault. It's your fault. Whether I taught you or not, it's your fault. This opportunity is the same opportunity I have. Just like I had to learn it, guess what? You got to learn it. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, the good thing is you're getting support. We're giving you all the opportunity in the world. You're getting on these calls to be able to learn and grow your business. So that shouldn't be the problem. So what is the problem? Are you blaming your friends and family because they're not supporting you? So what? If friends and family will support you when strangers celebrate you, go to the strangers. Maybe you're not consistent enough in your business for them to see that you're really taking it serious. Look more in the inside before you start pointing the finger at others. Take responsibility. Too many of you sign up, then you rely all on your upline. My upline didn't do a 2-on-1 with me, so I couldn't put them on a call. My upline didn't do the presentation. My upline didn't help me with this sale. My upline didn't tell me how to hit my rank. My upline didn't do this. My upline didn't do that. No. How about you? How about you take ownership? How about you take responsibility? Does that make sense? Be responsible for your own actions, ladies and gentlemen. okay? Because the more you blame others, the less problems get solved. Come on now. Dr. Leonard told me if you want to become extremely successful, one thing that you have to do is you have to learn how to become a great problem solver. You have to learn how to become a great problem solver. If you want to become really successful, let's take a look at this right here, okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna share something with you all. I remember there was a young lady that was brought in. She was a barber, and she is a heck of a barber at that. You know, she was brought into the business before we launched, and she had a great network because she was such a good barber. All the people that were very well off wanted to go to her because they wanted to make sure they had a good haircut, right? They had to look sharp, whether they had their corporate job or whatever. They want to make sure they look really, really good. Okay, and so she was a master barber. I mean, she can literally cut your hair with her eyes closed. That's how good she is. I sit down there, 20 minutes, I get up, and it's one of the best haircuts I've ever had in my life. And so guess what? Somebody had brought her into the business. That's how I met her. Okay, somebody introduced her to the business. She got involved, got excited, came to some meetings, and she started recruiting and bringing people in. She brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in. Okay. Here's the thing, because she wasn't really doing it herself, everyone that was in didn't really do it either. But there was some people that were. Okay. Well, one guy that she brought in another guy, who brought in another gentleman. But guess what? All those people, other than the last person that joined, all left and quit the business, including the barber. She just didn't feel like tuning to the calls anymore, doing whatever. She just said, I'm out, I'm going. Well, that last gentleman that jumped in, that was 1, 2, 3 legs under her, right? 3 levels under her, decided to stay into the business. Okay? Started taking to the information. He started learning. All right? And little did you know, okay? Just a couple months ago, that gentleman just hit RD, regional director. His name is Sean Coleman. And he has one of the largest organizations in the entire company, as a distributor. Now, what if he would have blamed his upline who quit? Who his next upline quit? Who up to the barber who quit? What if he would have blamed all of them and said, well, they're all quitting, I don't have any help? Versus looking within and continue to be focused and doing what it is that he needed to do. Or plugging up more, right? Going up higher for help. You see what I'm saying? See, that's how you be a winner. That's how you take ownership of your business. And you realize it's not my upline's responsibility, it's my responsibility to build my business and build my organization, to get my sales, to recruit my butt off and build a team. It's my job to do so. That's how you take ownership. That's how you become a leader. That's how you take responsibility. Does that make sense? So yes, you can make more than the person that brought you in, okay? And E, you need to learn how to elevate, okay? Learn how to elevate. There was a Navy SEAL commander. He said, there are no such thing as bad teams, only bad leaders, right? And it's a great book, okay? It's a very great book. It's called Ownership, actually. That's what inspired me to create this PowerPoint a couple months ago. It's called Ownership, okay? And that being said, here's what I want you to understand. He was talking about his experience as a Navy SEAL, and he said there was 2 different teams as they were practicing, and one of the things they had to do is one guy had to drive a boat, okay, but he had to drive the boat with a blindfold. All he could do is steer, okay? And then there was the leader of the team, okay? And the leader of the team had to direct, okay? He couldn't do anything. Everybody else was rowing, okay? So one guy steering, right? The other people rowing, and one guy talking, leading, okay? But it was a specific team that kept winning first place. There was a specific team that kept winning last place. So the leader of the team and the people in last place got frustrated. He said, man, we keep losing. It's not because of me, it's because of these people, right? They suck. They're not good teammates. You got the best people. That's why you keep winning on first place, because you have the best people. They all probably came in with skills already. They already know what they're doing. It's cheating. That's why you keep getting in first place. Give me a team and watch what I do. So the leaders of the people training Navy SEALs, they said, okay, We'll take the leader from the first place and put him over to the team with the last place. We'll take the leader from the last place and put him on the team of the people in the first place. They decided to do it again. Okay? On the first go around, well, guess what? The people in first place, okay, the team that always went in first place with the new leader, they end up hitting second place this time. Okay? The person that was in last place ended up hitting sixth place this time. But sure enough, after doing it a couple more times, guess what? That team that was in last place, after they got the first place leader, started becoming first again. You're right back in line to be in the first place. That team that was in first place, after they got the losing leader, guess what? We're all the way down from being the bottom of the barrel, being in last place. Why? Because it starts with the leader. See, rather than taking ownership, he wanted to blame everybody else, even as a leader. It starts with you. Why is the team not selling? Are you selling? Why is the team not recruiting? Are you recruiting? How many people have you brought in? When was the last time that you brought people in? When's the last time you started working and teaching and training new people? When's the last time you posted a new sale? Does that make sense? Okay, it starts from within. It starts with you. You have to become a great example of a leader. You got to lead from the front. Yes, you have to learn how to take ownership and stop pointing the finger, ladies and gentlemen. And when you can do so, it's the only time when you can learn how to really develop and grow an organization. Does that make sense? You got to stay on a one-track mindset of constantly growing. You know, you really do. You really do. And so that being said, it was a short PowerPoint today. Okay, it was a short call. But what I want to do is I want you guys to unmute yourself, okay, a few of you, and I want you to share one thing that you've learned from this call today. I want to hear from y'all today. Normally I don't do this, but I like when I hear during the daily call. So whoever wants to speak up.
I learned persistence today. You got to stay persistent in any of your business ventures or any of the things that you want to do, and it really does make a really big difference when you write it down. Because I noticed that when I started my business, it didn't really take form until I started to write down the actual plan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Yes, sir. 100%. And as you can see, look, this is what I'm teaching you. It's not a Novetica thing. It's a business thing. It's a business thing. You see? No matter what you do, it's a life thing. Absolutely, Mr. Jackson. 100%. Anybody else?
Yes, sir. I just want to say, being the example, that really struck out. That really, held close to my heart. Just being the example. Making sure that you're doing what you need to do. So because you can't. That's the only thing that you can do. You kind of can't tell somebody, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. But if you can show them, they have an example to follow. So, yes, sir.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Yes, sir. Leading from the front.
Brown.
Yes, Dr. Kroon.
Yes, I want to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Bailey just said about being the example and setting the example. I kind of have a question here too, because recently I've had some pretty decent sales. I've been recruiting and bringing people in, and so in my smaller group, my Team Puppy Love group, I think I go back and forth a little bit in my head about like, am I supposed to be posting this in my group? Does it seem like I'm being, braggadocious or, showing off? But I know it's not that way. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And so that's part of, being a leader, just showing that you're leading from the front. One thing I want everybody to understand is, whenever you post sales, in a group chat or within your team, okay, it's more so for motivation. Does that make sense? Understand this, when people join, they want to know that they signed up with a leader. They want to know that they signed up with a winner. Okay. And they sign up with someone that's going to continue to shoot from the front and continue to grow. If I'm in a group chat with you and I see everybody else posting sales, but you're not posting them or you're not sharing them, then how do I know that you're a leader? How do I know that you're working and building your business? I don't, unless you tell me, okay? But the more that I see that you're doing it, the more that makes me respect you as a leader and go, okay, obviously they know what they're doing. They're getting sales left and right, okay? So since they're getting sales, then I need to learn from them how to get sales. Since they're getting recruits, okay, then obviously they know how to recruit. I can listen to them because they have what? Fruit on the tree, okay? You're showing your fruit on the tree. When you're posting your sales, when you're sharing that you just got a new business partner, that is your fruit. Okay. You're bearing your fruit. You're showing your fruit. And so, yes, the fruit is not for you to eat alone, it's for you to share with others. So please, when you post your sales, understand it's not about you, it's you motivating and inspiring others. You know how many people will be on that call when they see you posting a sale, they go, or be on that group chat when they see you post a sale, they go, oh my goodness, wow. Well, if she did it, I could do it too, you know? When you get a new recruit and they're struggling because they're not recruiting anybody. They see you recruit. They go, wow, well, obviously, you know, people are joining, right? Look, they're joining. Someone else just signed up. So that means people are seeing this business. People are seeing this opportunity, okay? And the more that you're trying, if you're not, okay, getting the results, and if instead you're on the opposite end, you're getting jealous of the person selling, that says more something about you than a person posting. See? If you're getting jealous because people are posting sales, you're getting jealous because people are posting new recruits and new business partners, and you're getting upset, you're getting frustrated, that's more so to do with you than the other person. Okay? That's something that you need to work on from the inside. Because that's not our fault. No, that's you need to work on your skills. Again, taking ownership and realizing, well, if other people are getting sales and I'm not, obviously it's something that I'm doing wrong. Okay, if other people are getting recruits and I'm not, obviously it's something that I'm doing wrong. Okay. And so that's another step where you take a humble approach and you take a humble pill and you recognize, hey, there's something that I'm not doing right that obviously other people are doing. I see these people are getting results. Okay, let me learn the system that they're learning. What are they doing? Oh, they're plugging into all the calls. What are they doing? Oh, they're sharing with as many people as possible. What are they doing? Oh, they're following up with people. What are they doing? Oh, they're sharing a solution to a problem. What are they doing? Oh, they're actually plugging into their downline and teaching them and coaching them and working with them. You see? What are they doing? Oh, they're actually practicing their presentation. And so, yes, please, and thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Kroom. I know you have no problem doing that, you know, but forever who this is to learn, because I want everybody to understand, you know, you got to learn how to post your sales, how to post your results, because it's important for everybody to receive it and get it. It helps everybody grow. Okay. Again, you're showing your fruit on the tree when you post your results. Okay. It's not to be braggadocious. It's not going, I got sales. Look at me. I'm big and bad. I got these sales and you, no. Nobody on the team. This is Merge Line. We're not like that. No, this is Novetica. We're not like that. It's not our blood to do. No. Okay. It's only to help inspire you and inspire the next person.
Hey, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Kind of just a tidbit. Would you agree that if you're not say the person's really trying, you know, say the person's really, because I've been there. Say the person's really trying or really pushing, they're just not getting the results. Would you say posting your activity is still something that you would recommend?
It depends. It depends. You know, where you are in your business. If you realize that nobody's doing anything, any type of activity at all whatsoever in the business, then yes, post an activity to get everybody going and get everybody acting. You know, as a leader, I would, you know, to show that, hey, I'm still pushing too, you know, and I'm still working, you know, but if everybody's posting results and
Not from
everybody's posting sales and everybody's posting brand new recruits, you know, and people are doing that left and right, don't go in there and be like, I just talked to one person, you know, because they're gonna be like, good, well, keep on talking to people so you can post the results, you know? And so it all depends on where the team is, you know, that's my honest opinion, if you really want me to give you honest opinion. It's not a bad thing to do, but it's also, you gotta fill the team out. Does that make sense? It depends on where you are and where the team is.
Got it, understood.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now it's more so a leadership question, but a little nugget, a little gem for those of you that are looking to build teams. Okay. Absolutely. Anybody else? Any other questions? Those some really good questions.
Hey, this is Danielle speaking, and
Yes.
I Great call. I love this call. So, since I don't always have time to attend because I'm on other things and I do work in veterinary stuff, but company policy, I can't promote business with that. So, as much as I want to, I love to, but I could lose my position there if I tried. So, my goal and what I'm working towards is going back to school to finish veterinary medicine where I started. And I posted in there because clinic wise, I have a great relationship with a lot of people and I'm following up. Like last week, I went to a pet store, figured out the manager is going to be there on Fridays. Initially, when I started, when we first did, I guess before the relaunch, I did the same thing without the products. So it's easy to communicate with people. And while we were talking, I scheduled in tomorrow for church that I went to. Lo and behold, I was going pregnant before I went and met everyone, you, Dr. London, and at the a couple years back. Well, I was going to this church with purpose of thinking it was a church where like something happened and it was dear to me. I find out that it wasn't. And one of the person's name was a guy, the preacher's son was Mr. Henderson, which I have no idea if any relation, but I'm scheduling that tomorrow to go there and talk to them and say, hey, about Novetica and promote myself there because I haven't been there in a few years. So that's a start with that outside of the pet industry. And yesterday I sent out old business cards with new contact information to a door knock.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, great. So did you have a question or did you just want to share?
I wanted to share, and I haven't been able to talk to you with what I was doing that you guys were doing great with recruiting. I'm usually really great with that, but like you were saying earlier, I can definitely improve because I like recruiting person to person, but not everybody wants to put the work in. And I'm sorry if you're anything like me. I have 3 jobs besides being a member of Novetica, about to put on a 4th one.
Okay, so Ms. Tucci, I'm gonna share this with everyone, okay, including you. If you have a time where you can't go on the calls, most of these calls are recorded, and thank you to Ms. Fleetner. She manages a Merge Alliance YouTube page, okay? So at any time, you can always go back and check out the videos and study the videos as much as you want, as much as possible, okay, on the YouTube page. Let me share something with you all. That information right there, the fact that we're putting out there for free, you understand that there's other network marketing companies where they charge you to hear recordings of trainings. I remember I was involved with a company and they charged me $80 a month to get access to a library where I could hear the recordings and the audios every day. Yep, I had $80 a month, okay? That's $800, more than $800 a year, almost $1,000 a year in order to learn and get access to trainings. And so if you're not taking advantage of the YouTube page, okay, meaning, or access to the live calls and live trainings, okay, this was the only type of trainings I was receiving was recordings. And I would listen to the recordings and I would listen to the audios. That's the only time I was able to learn, okay? And most of it was just motivation. It wasn't even like real detailed trainings and things like what I'm getting into right now, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. And so that being said, I want you all to understand and comprehend the type of position that you're in, the things that you have, because sometimes you don't know if you don't know. You don't know what you have until it's gone. Until you go to another company, you see how different it is over there, how little the information is that you receive over there, how hard it is to get up to someone that's higher up on the scale in the business and working with their it's hard. It's very difficult. Okay. But you guys have all the openness, all the possibilities, all the calls, all the recordings open and available to you right here and right now. So take advantage of the opportunity and the timing of the opportunity so I can see you grow. Okay. So let's go. Let's grow. 4 p.m. There's a call with not our CEO, I'm sorry, Mr. Dowda Bangor, one of the founders of the company. He's doing an opportunity call at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? So that's 3 p.m. Central. That is 1 p.m. Pacific, all right? So that being said, let's get our heads straight. Let's get excited. Let's get pumped up. Before we wrap up the call, Pastor Henderson, are you there, sir?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely here, sir. Fantastic call. Don't take shade, under a tree that bears no fruit. I mean, I absolutely love it. Probably preach it. Give you credit the first time, second time, and the third time I'm claiming it. So, just super, super call. Excellent information. All we can, grow. I really, really thank you for, just everything that you do. Super questions, everybody. Awesome. I mean, let's just grow. Let's grow together. I know I have a lot of growth to do as well. So let's all do our part so this company can grow. We can't grow as a company unless we each individually grow. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, for the excellent lead in, Miss Kia Dickinson. Absolutely. Super great call. You know what we do? In order to take this call any higher, right? We must connect with source. All hearts and minds are clear. Father, we thank you right now. We give you all the glory. We praise you, God, for who you are, God, but who we are in your eyes, because we know that you look, towards us. You look at us, God, a lot greater than we look at ourselves. And so, God, we thank you that you loved us so much that you would even sacrifice a part of you. We thank you for this great opportunity to Vetica, your pet's choice. And we pray that you continue to keep your loving hands around her. We thank you for the visionary, the one you molded and shaped with your hands to be the leader, to be the visionary, to be the CEO of this great company, Dr. Lance London. And we thank you that you did not leave him alone, but you surrounded him with great people. You surrounded him with like-minded people. You surrounded him with merging leaders and merging gurus, the executive team, especially our upline founders, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, and may you pour back into him as he continues to pour back into us. May you continue to love him greater, than he is showing forth love for each and every one of us, because he cannot go greater in his love unless you go greater in yours. And so we thank you, for him. And may this word, be, not fall on fallow ground, but on fertile ground. And let us not be, just hearers of the word, but doers of the word. We thank you. We bless you. We give you glory. And I thank you for every soul represented. Come after like a lion. Give you all the praise and honor in the name of your son, Yeshua. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
Great
Amen.
call,
Amen.
Mr. Brown. Great PowerPoint.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you,
Great,
All
great
right.
Mr. Henderson.
PowerPoint.
Thank you, Mr.
Have a
Brown.
productive day,
Everybody
winners.
have a blessed day.
Yes, yes.
Have a good day, y'all. Yeah, yeah.